Okay, today we are going to discuss about conflict management, which is the course that's given at Gelila International Seminary and College for first degree program or BA students. And this course is very important course, which is begin with introduction to concept of conflict and highlighting its underlying concept and implication. And the course is very important that examines the role of personality types in conflict dynamics, emphasizing the importance of self-awareness and understanding the others. And the last time is we have discussed about how the view explains our difference. This is our last time discussions. And the other thing is the second issue we have discussed in the last time is about the difference in personality types or character types, which is stated as well as stated by Dr. Carl Jung in 1920s. And today we are going to discuss about how to understand and manage your feeling, the way you have to understand and manage your feelings. This is the another issues or topics under conflict management. This is very important points. Just understand and manage your feelings or your emotion or your spirit as well as your state of mind. So the first thing is, in order to understand and manage your feelings, just you have to have unresolved or unclear feelings. Have a habit of what? Leaking into conversation or discussion. Firstly, you have to know this one. Unresolved or unclear feelings have a habit of leaking into the conversation or discussion. How can you control these feelings? And what can you do to prevent anger? This is a very important question. All of you have to answer this one. How can you control these feelings? And again, what can you do to prevent the anger? This is very important question. All of you have to answer this question in order to manage conflicts as well as resolve conflict. Or in conflict resolution a mechanism, just we have to now the way how can you control these feelings, and again, what can you do to prevent anger. So what does it mean firstly feelings, and what does it mean anger? You have to know, and again also you have to define the word feelings. Feelings are indicators of what is going on in your life. In short, or in dictionary, it's simply feeling means that's the emotion as well as the spirit or the state of mind. The state of mind, in short. But according to your course materials, feelings are indicators of what is going on in your life. What is going on in your life is what is known as feelings. The other one is anger. Anger is a signal, something that is not right for you. Something that is not right for you. So that is anger. Feelings እንግዲህ ስሜት ምንለው እና anger ደግሞ ንዴት ማለት ነው በአማርኛ. In Amharic, feeling means ስሜት. Anger again also it's ንዴት. It's your body's way of letting you know something is wrong, that your value have been violated. Feelings are just another part of you, like your arms, legs, like your arms, your legs, and again they can be controlled. That means feeling is similar, just like your arms, like your legs, just you have to be controlled, so they can be controlled. So the other thing is just the way just you are bending. While you may have a strong urge to shout, scream, kick, hit, run, acting out of the anger is likely to be destructive to collaborative relationships. So this is it's not good. So bending is part of anger. Anger is likely to be what? Destructive. Anger is likely to be destructive to a collaborative relationships. The other is suppressing. Suppressing is also another part of what? Anger. Anger that is not dealt with what? Can turn inwards and leak out in resentment, bitterness, withdrawal, and depression. Suppressed negative feelings can damage your what? Health. Suppressed negative feelings that can damage what? Your health. Unexpressed or unstated conflict is still conflict. Unexpressed or unstated or explained conflict is still a conflict. From this, there is releasing. Suppressed anger is stored in the body. Just you have to what? Release it. Talking with friends, sports, meditation, relaxation can all be ways of what? Releasing the stress. These are very important things. Please, all of you have to do such kind of practice in your life in order just talking with friends. Just you can talk with your friends. Just in order to release just yourself from out of that anger as well as such kind of emotion as well as feelings. The other is sports. Physical exercise is very important. In case of what? Really, relaxation can all be what? The way of releasing stress. So in order to be free from yourself, just pray to make you free yourself from that such stress. Just you have to make talk with your friends. Again, also sport, meditation, and relaxation is very important. Manage your anger. Manage your anger. This is very important things. So manage your anger. When you get angry, underline flows faster, veins are enlarged, your heart beats faster. Here, what I have told you, suppressed negative feelings can damage what? Your health. So, when you get angry, just you have to consider the effect of what? Anger. Underline flows faster, veins are what? Enlarged, your heart beats faster. When you are what? Anger. When you get anger. The body is equipped for what? A brawl rather than for what? Problem solving. Where do these feelings can come from what? And what can you do about them? This is the question. Where do these feelings come from and what can you do about them? How do you do feelings? How do you do feelings? Please answer this question. Just refer your course material as well as different reading materials from library and from different websites. Feelings are a consequence of something you do. Feelings are what? Feelings are what? A consequence of what? Something you do. Just the results what you have done or what you do. The result of the effects of your doing, which is part of what? Your feelings. So feelings are less to do with what? Real world and more to do with what? What you tell yourself about the real world. Feelings are less to do with what? The real world. It's all to do with what? The unique, subjective, fresh view you have. What you're thinking. The other thing is what you're thinking is. Feelings follow on from your thoughts. This feelings follow what? On from your thoughts. Change your thinking if you want to change your feelings. So the thinking behind anger is likely to contain you should. This one is very important point. The thinking behind the anger is likely to contain you should. Please remember, you should imply that my way is best for you. That my value, beliefs, and methodologies are better than the others. Reverse the expression and you diminish the feelings. So you have to follow the next suggestion for the next time in order to manage your anger. So please, you have to follow these suggestion parties. So the first one was, the first suggestion is lower the volume of your voice. In order to manage your anger, the first suggestion to manage your anger is the first one is what? Lower the volume of your voice. Just lower it, the volume of your voice. Slow the rate of what? Speaking. Use circular rather than linear gestures. The other suggestion is what? Breathe from what? The stomach. Breathe your stomach. Delay before responding. The other is anger is fueled by your thinking, your body, and your language watch your what? Language. So your anger is somehow contained not only in your physiology, but also in your language. So remember this one. So all of you follow the suggestion which is forwarded under these courses. Coping with anger in others. Break time. If both of you are yelling, no one is charged. What not to do? So validate the feeling to keep the report. The first, just what to do? Validate. What does it mean validate? Just acknowledge what the other person is feeling and recognize it as a valid for her. So people who say sorry don't always forgive. Ask the magic question, what? By asking the person what they want, you are giving them some control and reducing the feeling of helplessness. The other ways to manage the anger is check for what? Understanding. So in order to check your understanding or check for understanding, the first thing is listening is key. So for understanding, the first thing is just you have to what? Listen. Listening is very important, as well as the key point for understandings. So listen without what? Interrupting, arguing, or disagreeing. Accept what says their reality. Listening leads to what? Understanding. Listening is so key for what? Understanding. So listening leads to what? Understanding. Understanding is the foundation for what? Agreements. Please remember this one. Listening leads to what? Understanding. Understanding is what? The foundation for what? Agreement. So conflict grows in the absence of what? Understanding. So understanding is very important. In order to have understanding, or just you have to be in understanding way, just first thing as well as the key issue is what? Listening. So listening leads to what? Understanding. Understanding is a foundation for agreement, because conflict grows in the absence of what? Understanding. So understanding is very important to manage conflicts. The other point is here in chapter 4, just we have to discuss in your course material is about what? Develop your skills and increase your choices. Develop your skills and increase your choices. Under this chapter, especially in chapter 4, we have to discuss, the first point is about what? Recognize your patterns. Recognize your patterns. What are they? Such kind of patterns are what? Fight, flight, and plow. In the way to develop the skills and increase your choices under conflict management or in managing conflict, the first thing is you have to recognize your patterns. Among the patterns, the first one is what? Fight. Then the other one is flight or flow. The next one is listen to understand the other's view. Listen to understand the other's view. Again, also, next issue we have to discuss under this topic is what? Problem solved for what? Mutual wins. The other thing is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication, non-verbal communication is part of what? A body language, just as gesture. Such kind of issues are also very important. The other thing is how to disagree or agreeable, and the other pitfalls, blame, accusation, judgment. And lastly, we have to discuss about rules for what? Constructive controversies. These are very important points to develop your skills and increase your choices. So the first thing is just recognize your patterns, such as fight, flight, or what? Flows. There are three main patterns of responses. We have three main patterns of response. The first one is flight. The second one is fight. The third one is plow. So these are very important patterns of what? Responses for any actions or for any issues. Response is very important point is under the conflict management or in conflict management process. The first one is develop flexibility if you want to increase effectiveness, flight. Okay. These courses are very important course, conflict management. So in order to further facilitate this course, just you have to develop your skills and increase. This course is very important, which is given for BA degree programs. at Gelila International Seminary and College, and the college also not only teaches BA program, again also it's have MA or master's degree program and a PhD or doctoral or higher degree programs in different modalities, in distance, weekend, and regular programs. So this course, also conflict management course, is also given for first degree students under the Gelila International Seminary College. And how to develop your skills, just we have three main pattern of responses. Polite, the first one is polite, the second one is fight, the third one is plow. When you come to about the polite, just we have to understand what does mean polite, The polite, just the move, which is one part of the response. This polite means lose-win style, in short. This lose-win style, that's polite means lose-win style, means saying yes to accommodate other person. It is what? Usually the pattern for people who value the relationship over what? The goal. We have three main pattern of responses for any actions. Response is very important. Among the three main pattern of the response, the first one is polite. So polite, in the case of polite, lose-win style. Lose-win style. So it is what? Usually the pattern for people who value the relationship over what? The goal. Strategically, this may be an appropriate way of what? Responding. Polite is one of what? An appropriate way of responding. Appropriate. Among this the three pattern or way of responding, the polite is appropriate way of what? Responding. However, the lose-win personality, that means when it is consistent pattern rather than a conscious choice, is likely to lead to frustration, anger with self, and the danger of being exploited. You can choose polite behavior without being polite personality. The second one is fight, the second pattern of response. The first one is polite, I have said or told you. The second one is fight. This is win-lose style. Again, similar with that of the first polite. It's also lose-win. The second one was what? Win-lose, vice versa. Polite is what? Lose-win. Fight is what? Win-lose style. So it involves using what? Power. This one. How this style may happen or how it is involved. This involves using power, threats, bluffs, intimidation, anything that will help to win the conflict. This pattern is used by people who value goals over what? Relationships, which is win-lose style. The first polite one is what? Lose-win style. The second one is fight, which is what? Win-lose style. Win-lose style. So again, this may be appropriate as a choice in some contexts. This one is appropriate. Appropriate choice in some contexts. What kind of context you have to understand, or you have to know the contexts, in which context or in which situation fights or win-lose style is appropriate. When someone vulnerable, for instance, when someone vulnerable is being physically or verbally attacked, you may go into what? Fight mode to protect what? A first response. So this is a fight behavior driven by what? Caring. So the fight behavior is always driven by what? Just caring. Caring is also part of what? Fight responses. However, the fight personality only values what? Winning. Only what? Winning. It is power over and has also little regard for the person of feelings. And read more about the polite and fight from your course material. The third pattern of response is what? Plow. The third one is what? Win-win approach. The first one was lose-win. The second one is also what? Win-lose. And the third one is win-win approach. Win-win approach is also another pattern of what? Responses. So this approach focuses on what? Concern is of what? Everyone and the looks together for what? Ways to reach an agreement. So the third pattern of response is very important to reach into what the agreement is. So this approach recognizes that both sets of what needs are. Both sets of needs are what important and seeks solution to satisfy everyone's. So the third pattern of response is very important. This leads to win-win. So a sense of power with and the positive and the collaborative and relationships is also the approach of what the third one. So the plow or win-win approach is very important regarding to the responses. This approach creates what? Partners, not opponents. The other important thing is about this, the third pattern is what? This approach, win-win approach, creates what? Partners, friends, and again also not opponents. It means searching for ways to involve what? And satisfy everyone. So the mindset, let's see how we both can have it. What is important to us, which is a very important part of the third one, or the plow patterns. The next things or the other points we have to discuss, this is about key skills for collaboration. Key skills for collaboration is also another, just you have to, the way you have to develop skills. So among the skills, the first one is about the collaboration skills. So we have three three skills which prevent escalation of the conflict and allow you to steer the energy. That means these skills are very important that prevent the beginning or the starting of what? Conflicts or the escalation of conflict. So the first skill of the collaboration is what? Listen acceptingly. Just you have listen acceptingly. What does it mean? Listen acceptingly. That means find out what others see through their window on the world. The second one was talk constructively. The second skill among the key skills for collaboration, the second one was talk constructively. Talk constructively. Share what you see through your window on the world. Share what you see through your window on the world. The third one is problem solve. Problem solve. The views for us, mutual wins. So we have three major key skills for collaboration, which is very important to prevent the escalation as well as the beginning or the start of what? Conflicts, and allow you to steer the energies along a path that will increase understanding, trust, and the cooperation. Listen to understand the other person's view on the world. It is very important skills. Why you listen to understand the other person's view on the world? To view what? The difference only from what? Maybe my view will be restricting. I will have limited information. Listening to the other person will provide another view, wider perspective, and more possibilities. The other is understand first. Just before this respond, just understand first, and then what? Respond second. Always you have to understand first before you're going to respond. So understand first, then respond the second. So listening can be a bit like reading the newspaper. People say as well as your course materials. Again, also recognize this idea. That means listening can be a bit like what? Reading newspaper. Listening is judgment free. It's good. The other is yes, but indicate argument rather than listening. Listen for feeling, yes. So remember, while you may not agree with substance what the other person is saying, you can still acknowledge the importance of what? Feelings. Give the solution is not always the answer. Giving the solution is not always the answer. Remember, giving the solution is not always the answer. So, the first thing is listen to understand. Listen to understand. Listen to understand. I feel what? Neglected. There is no reason for you feel what? Neglected. What you should do is, so with understanding, the problem often melts away. Incredible as it may seem. You know, this 70% of people conflict problems are what? Solved through what? Understanding. This, the research which is recognized as well as acknowledges this one. 70% of the people's conflict problems are solved through what? Understanding. So listen to understand is very important. Just rather than giving solution is solution, because giving the solution is what? Not always the answer. So listen to understand. So understanding is very important in the conflict resolution or solving conflicts. Rather take turns in having equal airtime. Just you have to read from your course materials from page 26 on the course material about understanding change expectation, understanding leads to fewer demands, understanding is a foundation for what? Agreement. Just this is very important thing is understanding is the foundation for agreement. Listening makes a lot of sense. Accepting listening. Listening makes what? A lot of sense. So listening is also very important skills. So accepting listening. The first thing is how to accept the listening. For the moment, put one side your concerns, feelings and needs. Focus on what? Other person. Seek his view on the world. Listen for what is important to other person. Be genuinely interested. Encourage her to talk. Explore her or his feelings, needs and concerns. Accept what the person says as true for him or for her. This is also very important thing is in listening that makes sense. Recognize the right to say something even if you disagree with it. Every few sentences sum up what you have heard. Rather than create one-way street, driving on the communication highway where ideas, feelings can pass freely in both directions, which is very important things. Drawing on my fine command of language, I said nothing. Robert Benchley says, drawing on my fine command of language, I say nothing. So avoid the other things in the way of developing your skills. Just avoid character assassination. So in the conflict resolution or in this course, conflict management, one thing you have to know is avoid character assassination. To avoid making the other person wrong, talk about yourselves and how that person's behavior affects you. Using I language rather than you language can prevent the situation getting personal. So in this way, we have to avoid character assassination. Using what? I language rather than you language can prevent the situation getting personal. How to avoid? For example, you are, you never, you should, you always, you don't, you make me feel, why can't you? These are the languages. Using I language rather than you language can prevent the situation getting personal. That means you have to avoid the character assassination. Say, I feel. Just when you are talking with others, just say, I feel, I would prefer, I would like, I need. My concern is, I don't like, I believe. As I see it, this is the way just you have to in avoiding personal assassination or character assassination. Talking starters. Just here are some sentence starters to enable you to be not only direct but respectful. Just one is what? I am angry that, I want, I am sad that, I need, I am sorry that, I wish. So beware or be careful, just never and always. These terminologies, never and always. So often we speak in exaggerated terms, especially when feelings around what? Strong. Share feelings. This is also another skills. Just share it. Often we confuse being emotional with expressing emotions. You can express emotions well without what? Being emotional, and just can you be extremely emotional without expressing much anything. So talk to a relevant person, not everyone else. Other also nonverbal, strange, it makes your body is part of conversation. So research indicates that over 70% of any social interaction is nonverbal. 70% of social interaction nonverbal. So your body is, which is never silent, communicates attitude and feelings. This is commentary is likely to be louder than the words. Here are some guidelines to receptive open body languages. These are guidelines. Just you have to read it from your course materials. For example, for instance, the first guideline to receptive and open body languages, just look at the person, stare can threaten, The second one, speak in a calm, friendly, and controlled tone of the voice. Breathe deeply. Avoid mumbling. Just match other person's energy in the state. The fourth one is beware the following. Arms and the legs crossed, hands covering the mouth, and body facing away from the other persons. Your body is doing a lot of the things. Validate, instruction, and guidelines. The other is problem solve for mutual wins or identify the needs. So we have discussed this lesson, especially about the way how we can develop skills and increase your choices, especially in the conflict management. So the first thing is is recognize our patterns such as fight, flight, and plow. And, these are the three main patterns or responses. The first one is flight. This is lose-win style means. The first pattern of response is flight, which is lose-win styles, which is appropriate way of responding. The second patterns of response is what? Fight, which is win-lose style, which is also this may be appropriate as a choice in some contexts. And the third one also we have discussed it under the patterns, the main patterns of response, which is win-win approach. This approach is very important and it concerns everyone and looks together for ways to reach agreements. So the win-win approach creates what? Partners, not opponents. This approach is very important, which leads you to create the partners or friends rather than creating opponents or your enemies. And as also things we have discussed in this lesson is what? The key skills for what? Collaboration. We have three skills which present the escalation or the beginning of conflicts. The first skill is what? Listen acceptingly. The second one is talk constructively. The third one is problem solve. And again also we discussed different languages or the ways, especially problem solving for mutual wins, identify the needs. Again also just you have to paraphrasing, listening the starter, voice in your head. View objection as unfulfilled needs, arguing, respond rather than react. And the rules for constructive controversy is also another part as we have discussed here. So just not getting what you want can be a wonderful stroke of luck. The first thing is to negotiate. In order to negotiate, just listen acceptingly. Again, also for what? Look for what you can give to other persons. Ask for what you need from others and make it a fair deal. And again, under this part, just ensure there is maximum win for both people. Check needs are met. So this is the end of our second session or our second class. And if you have any question, if you have any comment, welcome.